Welcome to Cocktails and Cuisines. I'm your host, Chef James Jens of Dinners with Class. We're going to start out with a champagne cocktail. To set up the garnish, we're going to dip just the edge of the champagne glass in some cognac and roll it in some sugar and put a maraschino cherry in the bottom of the glass. And whenever you open champagne, twist the bottle, not the cork. And we'll fill glass about to there. Put a few drops of vermouth. Cognac, and top it off with champagne to fizz. And this is basically a version of French 57. There you go. Stick with us. When we come back, we'll work on a seared rack of lamb with herb de Provence hollandaise sauce and roasted potatoes. Welcome back. So we're going to start today by making the reduction that goes as the base for the hollandaise sauce that we're going to make to glaze the lamb rack. So we're going to take a little bit of shallot, and if you can't find a shallot, you can use a red onion or a sweet onion. And really, you don't have to be overly careful about the size because we're basically just trying to get the flavor of the shallot. A couple of smashed cloves of garlic, some champagne, and some brandy. And we're going to let this just kind of simmer, marinate, let the flavors of the garlic and the shallot and the champagne and kind of reduce it by half. So we have probably about a cup and a half. We're looking to have about a half a cup of end liquid to use to make our hollandaise sauce. So while that's working, we can work on the potatoes. We're just going to cut in half some red, purple, and white cream potatoes or new potatoes. Leave the skin on. And we're just basically gonna make a real quick little potato salad to serve with rack of lamb. I'm gonna do some red onion. And some garlic. And we're going to use some fennel. And some of the fronds. So the fennel is going to help lighten and give a little bit of a freshness to the potato salad. And then we're going to take some Dijon mustard. A little bit of salt and pepper. We're going to toss this all together. When we come back, we'll have the reduction to the point. I'll put the potatoes in the oven, and then we can work on the herb Provence garnish for the hollandaise and sear the lamb rack. Welcome back. So we have the potatoes in the oven, and I strained the garlic and shallots out of the reduction, and we're just gonna let that hang out. But we're gonna get started on searing the lamb. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Dijon mustard and just literally hit all of the muscle part of it. You don't have to worry about the bone area. And we're gonna also hit it with some salt and pepper. And we're gonna go, we have a little bit of butter in a pan. And we're just gonna let this slowly render off. And again, get a nice color on the fat cap on the lamb. And while that's cooking, we're going to chop up a bunch of herbs for the garnish of the hollandaise. So we have some flat leaf parsley, some fresh basil, tarragon, and you just need the leaves. You got some rosemary. And I'm actually gonna throw the one rosemary right in the pan. That'll give a little bit of aromatics right onto the lamb. Thyme. If the thyme has the real sturdy stalks, you wanna peel the leaves off of it, off of the stems. If the stems that you get with your thyme are the real soft, kind of almost curly ones, those you can probably just run a knife right through and chop it up and it'll be fine. And some fresh oregano. And just run your knife through the herbs a couple of times. Then to really get a nice fine chop on them, what you can do is hold your knife, then with a flat palm with your fingers together, press down so it acts kind of like a telegraph machine, and push down with your other hand on the handle of the knife. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then we can start working on our hollandaise. We have a couple of eggs, yolks, and I have a double boiler basically set up. I have water in the bottom pan. We have medium heat. When you start with hollandaise, when you make hollandaise, you kind of have to be all together. This is definitely a mise en place, everything in its place. That's your French word of the day. Because you can't really stop, start, go get something. It all has to be right here. A little bit of fresh lemon juice. A little bit of your favorite hot sauce. And we're going to constantly whisk this over the hot but not boiling water, because you want to gently bring the yolks up to temperature and slowly cook them. If you try to cook them too fast, you'll get scrambled eggs. And once you can add your the reduction that we made. And if you make a big batch of this reduction, you can definitely put it into a mason jar or something, or an old vinegar bottle from a store, and keep it in your refrigerator if you're inclined to want to make hollandaise all the time. And what we're going to cook the egg yolks till we get till ribbon stage. So I'll show you what it looks like, but to describe what ribbon stage is, when you move a whisk around the eggs, you'll actually have a trace of the whisk left in the eggs. Kind of like a afterburner clouds behind a jet. That's what you're looking for. The other things that you're going to want to have accessible to you is clarified or drawn butter. So it's been a couple minutes, and when you move the whisk around the bowl, you can see how it holds the whisk marks. That's what you're looking for. And you want to turn your heat off. And I like to use the pot to help hold the bowl as a third arm. And you slowly drizzle in your clarified butter. And you want to make sure it maintains some emulsification. So emulsified is you're basically making like mayonnaise or a Caesar salad dressing. It's all the same process. It's just different ingredients and different end results. If you know how to make an emulsification with one, you know how to make it with the other one. We're going to add a generous handful of our herbs. Seasoning a little bit, some pepper, salt, with a little bit more hot sauce. We'll let the rack of lamb rest for just a second, and I'll go grab the potatoes out of the oven. I'm keeping this fairly on the rare side. That's how I like my lamb, but if you need more well done, you can definitely finish it in the oven for a few minutes. There you go. Seared rack of lamb with a Dijon crust and a fennel potato salad with herb de Provence hollandaise sauce. Happy eating. I'm Chef James Jens with Cuisines and Cocktails. Waiting until next time when we get to play in the kitchen together.